What's up, girl? How you doing?
I am doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing good now. It only took us like 2 hours to get this thing together.
So technology can steal my energy and it doesn't like me. I don't know why the rest of the universe loves me, but technology is like a big birdie finger right at me.
You know, it's supposed to make life easier, but I find that oftentimes it makes it the opposite. Has that been your experience, Rebecca?
When it works, it makes life so easy. And then when it doesn't work, it's like the bane of my existence.
I know that's right. Well, today we have none other than Rebecca Walden of Rebecca Walden Wig Studio. Rebecca, take us through what you do on the daily.
So I have a private studio, Rebecca Walden Wig Studio. I specialize in customizing wigs, medical grade wigs for women and children in chemotherapy, alopecia, trichotillomania, hormonal changes, just medical hair loss. Then I'm their hairdresser for the hair that doesn't grow out of their head for as long as they need me.
So you do it all.
We color it, we cut it, we style it, we customize it. If they have a special event for like a wedding or something like that, I do all of it. My responsibility to my clients is with everything else that is going on in their life. My responsibility is to make this part of everything suck as little as possible.
I heard that.
But I love it.
How'd you get into that line of work, Rebecca?
Oh my God, it was such a God thing. I never thought when I was growing up, when I grow up, I'm going to replace hair for women who lose their hair due to medical conditions. That was not my thing. I was working in a salon as a manager and hairdresser, and the girl who was working in the area that was like just an amenity for the salon of wigs, she went back to nursing school. So as the manager, I had to fill the role. And I was like this rock star hairdresser. So when any hairdresser who says, "Oh, sugar, I can do your wigs, they're talking out of their ego. And I was that girl. I was like, I got this, no problem. Nope. I made a lot of people cry before I made anybody smile. It's totally different than regular hairdressing. I did not want to do it. I kept trying to hire people to come in and fill that role in the salon. Everybody just thought it was going to be dress up, just fun, whatever. And it's not. You have to talk about people's chemotherapy treatments or children's chemotherapy treatments or trichotillomania, which is a psychological disorder where you have a compulsion to pull your own hair out, or trauma. Like I had a client whose husband died suddenly of a heart attack, and the stress of it, she lost all of her hair and it never grew back. Nobody comes to me because their life is going great. So you hear a lot of stuff that has been life circumstances that causes hair loss. I just recently actually had a client who was bitten by a spider. They think it was one of those brown recluse, whatever. Ended with like sepsis in her blood, and then the skin around it died. She had necrotizing fasciitis. Yep. And then the stress of that and the treatment of all of that caused her to lose her hair. So there's a million reasons that people have hair loss. Nobody comes to me because life is going perfect. And so when I was trying to find someone to fill that role, I would find someone, they were excited, they would leave. And I just kept having to do it, And my sister is a Methodist minister. And I was like, listen, I know that God listens to my prayers.
Your sister's a preacher.
Well, she's retired now, but, she's still...
Is she still anointed, Rebecca?
My father can be your father at dominoes. Yes, she is still anointed. But so I was like, I know God listens to my prayers, but this role is super important.
Yeah.
And I know you listen, but you work for him, so you can take a direct meeting. So help me pray someone into this room. And she was like, maybe God just wants you to look in the mirror. Yeah. I'm like, nope. God's had me in front of the mirror my whole career. Sure as July left. Like 2 years later, I didn't have any regular hairdressing clients on the floor anymore. And I was only doing wigs, and I stayed there for about 8 more years. And then I decided I didn't want to work with men anymore. Sorry, boys. But
you're not showing the fellas any love. Rebecca, no, the fellas don't get any. The fellas get no love.
No, I can't. What they do under their smock can't. No, I didn't even do men's haircuts because of this smock action. So,
Hello,
you know,
Rebecca. Hold that thought. Rebecca, what's the most gratifying thing about your work, Rebecca?
the most gratifying thing about my work, hands down, is when people walk into my studio and they're terrified. Like they walk in like, I'm going to look like the crazy wig lady. This is going to be horrible. And then by the time they leave, they're like, God, I can do this. And can I hug you? And it's, oh my God. I mean, it seriously is like a drug to me. It really is. Just to see the shift in people that, you know, the scariest thing for my clients is that they don't want to look like the crazy wig lady. They think it's going to be like this fur hat that everybody's going to know what's going on. You know, but I mean, we've all seen them out there, people with really, really bad wigs.
Yeah, no doubt.
But then we see people with great ones and nobody knows it's a wig. The word wig has just a bad rep and it kind of sucks. And I tell people all the time, like the word shot, it could go either way. You could have ouch or you could have
Yeah, no doubt.
and it's just, so with a wig, it's the same thing. It could either be crazy town or it could be, I look like me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it just is how you position the word and how you position your relationship with it as to what it's going to be for you. And my clients often call me a hairapist because, yeah, because I get to kind of coach them through something they've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this for almost 23 years. And I know what the triggers are. I know what the scary parts are, what the celebratory parts are. And just to be able to encourage and be there for them during a time when they have no control over anything else. But they do have control over how they present to the world in their most authentic way. And that is huge.
Why do you think that wigs got, the word wig itself got a bad rap? What's the history behind that?
You know, I think back in like the 60s and 70s, and this is not a racial thing. This is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a distinction between that. For Caucasian women, stalls and wigs and all of that, that was like a fashion statement.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just stopped being a fashion statement, just like mini skirts and
bell bottoms.
You know, mini skirts and bell bottom. It all comes and goes.
In cycles.
It all comes in cycles. But there was a period when it was a cool thing to wear for white women, wore hair in falls and, you know, and things like that. And then it just became more of a, you know, you just did your own hair. And then I don't know when the transition happened, but at some point there was a transition for, and again, this isn't racial, this is cultural.
Yeah,
there came a transition where for white women, if you were wearing a wig, and I'm not talking about celebrities. I'm not talking about cosplay. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about your average suburban Caucasian mom is not just wearing a wig for fun to go to a PTA meeting, go to the grocery store, go out to dinner with her husband, unless there's some sort of hair issue behind that, like alopecia, chemotherapy, trichotillomania, telefluvium, something like that. There was a shift, and I can't define that shift, but I know that I've gotten a lot of criticism for saying that white women typically do not wear wigs unless there is an issue. So much criticism on that. But the truth is, I have been called a racist, ignorant, don't listen to this idiot. She's out of.
But is it true though?
Well, I guess
what I mean is what you've observed is the truth.
How many white friends do you have that wear wigs?
I haven't observed a wig on them, but you know
why?
Granted, I'm not the best at picking wigs out, but I don't think any of my Caucasian friends wear wigs.
There you go. I mean, it could be something where it's a great wig, like medical grade, what I work with in customizing. But for the most part, I mean, I'm a 58-year-old white girl that lives in Atlanta.
From Atlanta.
And from Atlanta, Georgia Page. And I can tell you right now, I have tons of friends that wear extensions and, get extensions and all of that. I don't have any friends that just wear wigs to wear wigs. If they're wearing a wig or a topper or something like that, it's because they're thin on top and they want to cover it up. It's because it's a problem. And so that's why I'm saying it's different. I mean, I grew up in Atlanta. I was the only white cheerleader on my squad in middle school.
Where you used to roller skate, Rebecca?
Jelly beans.
You used to be over Jelly Beans
Rock and
roller
roll
skating.
arena on Roswell Road, Jelly beans. But even then, none of my Black girlfriends get their wigs from me because it's a different relationship. They're wearing a wig for like 4 to 6 weeks, and then they take it off and they change up their hair. And that's fine. It's a normal cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
Caucasian women typically, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for even saying this, but they typically go to their hairdresser and they look the same all the freaking time. I mean, I have long blonde hair. I've had long blonde hair for 20 freaking years. I don't mix it up a lot. I might put a couple of low lights in or go a little blonder, but I'm not going short, red, brown, layered, like it's just not a thing.
Do you think that it should be?
100% I think it should.
So you think that wigs for white women should come back in style and they should just be
100%.
busting out the different wigs, doing their thing like Vogue?
Absolutely.
Like, come on, Vogue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know why I say that?
Why?
Because part of why, this is just my opinion, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of shit for this too. My opinion is that Caucasian women play it too safe. They have a look and they stay in that lane so that they are consistent in the way that they present themselves because that's what's expected of them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But everyone naturally evolves and changes and wants to express themselves in different ways. Just like women change the color of their nails. 1 week they'll be red, they could be blue, they could be French, they could be no problem. Change that all day long. Change your hair, that's a big thing. For some women, just like I'm wearing red lipstick tonight is like a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the way that we authentically express ourselves is how we decorate ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I mean, on the one hand, I mean, you and I are friends. I only ever wear black clothing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you in anything but black.
I'm not going to change that, but I will change how I, wear my hair or my, boots and jackets and layers and I'll mix it up. But I just feel like white women play it too safe in the way that they express themselves sometimes. And it would be fun to be a little different sometimes. But it would not be accepted if you are somebody's defense attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. You want that person to be consistent and do what they do and do their job. And you don't want somebody that looks like me to come into court with a short red spiky wig on the day of your trial. Now you're white.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, then I think
it just doesn't happen.
Well, I think then that it would follow, though, Rebecca, maybe the hair choices are dictated by the expectations of the profession that they're in. I mean, because, law is very conservative. You know what I mean?
It's starting to be where you can be glamorous and professional at the same time.
Yeah, I have
I'm seeing it more and more, and I love it.
Are you going to lead the charge, Rebecca? Because see, you know what people are going to say then, okay, since Rebecca Walden has this view, is Rebecca going to start providing the stylish wigs that they need to step out on the town, in these streets, to set new trends and styles? Are you ready to do that beyond what you're doing with medical?
I would love that. And I would need them to be open to it. Even with my medical clients. And I mean, think about it. I mean, I get everything from the stay-home mom to the, corporate executive.
Yeah.
Cancer doesn't discriminate.
Right.
Alopecia doesn't discriminate. It's you get all walks of life, and they are having to walk around with a wig due to hair loss from their medical condition, right?
Yeah.
But they always want their hair to look as close to what they look like before they lost their hair as possible.
Mm-hmm.
My specialty is duplicating people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for women to know that, like for me, for example, I'm meeting a friend tonight at Eclipse Luna.
All right, your favorite place, your office.
My favorite place. And I have a hat on right now because I have not colored my roots in forever, because you would think that with the work that I do, I would have so much more respect for my hair.
Rebecca, why you ain't colored your roots? Why you haven't colored your roots?
I fucking hate doing my hair. I hate shampooing it. I hate getting it colored. I will always be a long hair girl, but I hate doing my hair. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap this shit up and put a wig on when I go out tonight. And I'm totally fine. Did you want to see the wig I'm going to wear?
I'm not surprised. I know you're serious about it.
I'm going to be a brunette tonight.
Okay. All right.
You want to see?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Show us. Now, see, this is what Rebecca does. You know what I mean? This is Rebecca Walden. She just doesn't give a what. Oh, okay,
Rebecca does not give a what.
Look at you pulling your hair back like Kate Jackson.
Not going to be perfect, but I am tonight, and I don't have a mirror in here to even see if this is
Go ahead
right.
and do the whole thing, Rebecca. Show us how you're going to get yourself together for the night.
Wait, hang on. Let me grab a brush.
Rebecca Walden of Rebecca Walden Wig Studio. Don't give a...
You got that right. Oh, wait, you good.
Rebecca.
I love this one.
So Rebecca, you're going to lead the charge. You're going to change the game, as it were.
Why?
Regarding contemporary attitudes towards wigs by our Caucasian sisters in 2025. You're going to, but honestly, man, that's
one thing.
That's what Nisa wants you to do. Nisa wants you to step out there and like get like in the fashion. You know what I mean? Because
I would love it, and I would love to get. Like, you don't have to get your hair colored all the time. You don't have to always have to get, you don't always have to shampoo your hair and take the time. I mean, you can just throw on a wig and just, so yeah, tonight I'm going to be a brunette.
Okay. I got you looking, you got your nice, Victoria Principal steez going. Nice, Sue Ellen steez,
Oh my gosh. Victoria Principal. And Andy Gibb, was that not the saddest?
Andy Gibb, man, listen. First of all,
they jaded forever.
First of all, when you're talking about, the Bee Gees themselves don't get enough respect. We're taking a detour, y'all.
100%.
And
100%.
their baby brother, Andy Gibb, who used to sing, "For so long, me and you've been together, babies, for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I just want to be your everything. If you're below 45 years, maybe even 50, you're not going to remember this. Go look up I Just Want to Be Your Everything by Andy Gibb. That's the groove. It used to date Victoria Principal. If you don't know who Andy Gibb or Victoria Principal are, go Google it or chat GPT.
It was such a thing. And I had, in like the 9th grade, the biggest crush on Barry Gibb. Like, to die for Barry Gibb.
Barry Gibb is a legend. I don't care what they say about it. The Bee Gees, Barry Gibb, legends.
Stanley? Oh, yeah. And do you know that he wrote for so many artists? He wrote so many of their songs that people don't even know. You look at Barry Gibb. Songwriter. Blow your mind.
I'm not surprised. I mean, beautiful melodies. Come on, man.
I'm taking this off just because I don't have it perfected yet. But it will literally take me like 5 minutes to get it perfected, and I'll be out the door.
If y'all are at Eclipse de Luna tonight, Rebecca's not going to be a blonde. She's going to be a brunette. If you happen to be over there.
You won't even recognize me.
So, Rebecca, what is the difference between a medical grade wig and just a regular wig you get from the store?
Okay, good question. Regular wig on the inside looks like that.
Got you.
That's $75 at a wig store. Okay. Medical grade is all hand tied, lace front. It looks like it's growing right out of your head. And then we custom color it. And I have my wigs manufactured based on what kind of cap construction I want, what kind of hair, what length of hair, what color of hair. And then everything is customized client to client. So some people need European hair. Some people need Indian hair. Some people need Chinese hair. Some people need Brazilian hair. And then everything like this is right out of the box. But you can see like it's so natural around the hairline. And then everything is custom colored and cut. Like this is just a cap with hair. I would put like face framing layers through here. We're going to put a root in, low light it. It can be curled. It can be flat ironed. And this kind of wig is designed to last with daily wear, like as a body part, 8 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for like 14 to 16 months.
14 to 16 months. So Rebecca, I got to ask, what type, when you have your African-American patients that come in, what type of wigs do you have available for them? What if you have an African-American patient that wants to have a natural wig? What do you do?
So we decide what's going to be the best kind of hair for them. And then
like take me through the process. Like take me through inside your mind when you're doing a consultation with an African-American
let's
patient.
talk about that for a second. First of all, my mind would be an amazing vacation destination, but nobody wants to live there full time. It is not a residence. It is a destination.
It's a destination.
Unless you're me and you're just stuck with it.
All right.
But the mindset around that would be everybody that comes in has different texture, density, whatever of hair. Okay. So my African-American clients that come in, some have the smoothest, silkiest hair. Some have kinky curly hair. Some have a looser texture.
Very varied.
Sometimes it totally varies.
Due to our diverse cultural history in the diaspora. Very varied.
It's very, very varied. Exactly.
But you're up to the task, Rebecca Walden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it could be, maybe it needs to be, it's honestly very rarely actually what is considered African-American hair that I get. And the reason is it's very difficult to get raw hair, like quality hair, that all the cuticle is put on the cap going in the same direction through the hair, like it would if it was growing out of your head. So oftentimes I'll work with either permed Mongolian hair or Brazilian hair or something like that. And then we'll custom perm it or whatever to kind of replicate the curl pattern. Or if there's someone who has gotten their hair pressed or relaxed or whatever for years and years and years, we find the texture of hair that is going to feel the most familiar to them. But I'll be honest with you, I would say probably maybe 15% of my clientele is African American. And they are typically women who, in their upbringing and everything, women didn't wear hair. They wore their own hair.
Gotcha.
They weren't doing protective styles like braiding and things like that and wearing wigs over it. They grew up in a house where women wore their own hair, went, once a week for a blowout or, every 4 months or so for a relaxer at the root or whatever. They wore their own hair. Wigs are not every Black woman is familiar with wearing wigs. That's why I'm saying it's cultural. It is not Rachel.
Let me ask you this, though. I mean, I know a lot of Black women that wear wigs, a whole lot of them. And so my question for you is this. A lot of them may not, you're talking about that cohort of your patients, the 15%. A lot of people don't wear wigs until they have to, until they're sick. So where are the sisters with cancer and trichotillomania and alopecia? Where are they going if they're not going to you? Because everybody gets
They're
sick.
going to a traditional wig store because that is that's where they're going to be told to go.
So they're going over to Camp Creek to the wig store.
Culturally, they're going, and again, I feel like I'm going to get a whole ration of shit for saying
Don't
this,
worry
but
about,
I'm just
don't worry about that. Say what you got to say, Rebecca.
The truth is, they're going to beauty supply stores.
But they should be going to an expert.
Beauty supply stores.
But they should be going to you.
They don't necessarily have to. I mean, I have friends who wear wigs that are like $40. They look fucking amazing, you know? And then I have friends that are, you know, spending the kind amount of money. Like this. I have a lot of friends who are in the entertainment industry. They're getting really great quality wigs, but they're not getting them from me because I don't install. I'm not in fashion, so I don't bond wigs. Like, I don't braid people's hair and bond
so they go
wigs
to their
temporarily.
In essence.
They'll go to somebody who specializes in what they're looking for.
So let me ask you this, Rebecca. If they wanted, if a sister wanted to come in and get a top-notch wig, more top-notch wig than you would get from the local beauty supply store, and then go to their, you know, stylist of choice, that would be an option. Is that what you're saying?
Yes and no. I could get them something that they could take to their hairdresser, but again, I don't specialize in things that are bonded on. If somebody is looking for something that's top-notch daily wear, they don't need to go to their hairdresser. I can do it for them.
Okay.
You know, I can braid. I mean, I was a hairdresser for over 20 years before I started doing this, and I've been doing this for over 20 years.
Did you always want
to be...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I know there are things that I don't know how to do that I tell people, you need to go to a hairdresser that specializes in this. I am all about saying what I don't know how to do.
Did you always want to be a hairdresser, Rebecca?
No.
So when did you decide? What happened?
It just was, honestly, the next job for me.
Oh, okay. What were you doing before?
Well, my first career was fitness.
Fitness? How
honestly, that I was a personal trainer, aerobic instructor, managed gyms.
For real?
That was like that was my first career after I stopped working in bars and restaurants, like to have a career. But, you know, and then hairdressing was just like kind of fell in my lap. And, you know, I started just working the front desk and then managing salons and then hairdressing. And then, you know, none of this, I am one of those people who never put a plan together. Life just kind of happened to them.
Got you.
And they just rolled through it, and God just put me in a position where he was like, you know, what's the expression?
Whatever you write,
if you fail to plan
to fail.
You plan to fail.
Or conversely, if you fail to prepare to fail.
Exactly. But God just wouldn't let me fail.
Okay. You know, over in the church, we say he can do anything but fail, you know. So I see that he's been good to you. I have not failed
yet. But, I mean, when I was growing up, my whole thing, all I wanted to do was be a famous actress. That's what I wanted. Like,
what show did you want to be on, Rebecca?
I want any show. Any show. So, like, I would imagine myself as a guest on, or like somebody on the Love Boat.
No.
Or
Rebecca.
Or
Love Boat. Come on now. Colonel Steubing. Captain Steubing.
Yeah, Captain Steubing.
Don't forget Captain Steubing.
Would have been Gopher.
Isaac Gopher. Come on now.
Isaac was a hottie.
And the daughter, what was the daughter's name on the show? Was it Vicky?
Vicky was the daughter, and Julie was the cruise director. I would have been the best Julie McCoy. I would have been the best.
Rebecca, I got to ask you one thing. I got to make sure you're certified. What came on after Love Boat? Fantasy Island. You see,
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island.
Absolutely.
See.
You know, I wasn't allowed to watch that as a child growing up. My father had custody of us, and we were not allowed to watch television on Friday nights or Saturday nights because it was too much sex and violence. I mean, the Love Boat might as well have been soft porn. honestly.
They were right about
So,
that. Yeah, it was
but
a
I
lot
would
of that.
go visit my mother, and I would be all about the Love Boat and Fantasy Island, and oh yeah.
You know where Tattoo was from in real life?
No, I don't
Where do you think he was from?
want to say Hawaii.
No, he wasn't from Hawaii. I thought he was Mexican myself. You know,
Well, I would.
but he wasn't. He was French. He was French. Not only was Tattoo born and raised.
Tattoo was French.
Tattoo was French. Not only was he born and raised in France, Tattoo was a heck of a painter. Like he was conservatory level painter. You know what I mean? I think he studied painting. You know what I mean? I don't know how he ended up on Fantasy Island with the boy Mr. Rourke. You know, the boy Ricardo Montalban.
Well, he was the size of a French fry.
Yeah. But I mean, Tattoo was the. You knew that you were on Fantasy Island when he busted out the plane. The plane. Come on now. Hervé Villachez.
That is hilarious. That
the
is
big
hilarious.
homie Hervé Villachez. Y'all, you know, you put out a little for Hervé Villachez. Rebecca, you're an Atlanta native. You used to roller skate at Jelly Beans. Rebecca, what period
Rock and roll arena on Roswell Road, Jelly Beans. Oh yeah.
Rebecca, what type of music? I mean, what was some of the music they would be playing up in Jelly Beans during that time? What time period are we talking about in Atlanta?
We're talking Gap Band, Kool and the Gang, Leonard Skinner, Led Zeppelin.
They play Leonard Skinner at the skating rink?
Prince. Are you kidding me?
For real?
I have the whole routine to freaking Freebird.
Okay, so all right, Rebecca, you breaking it all the way down. So Freebird by Leonard Skinner would be played at Jelly Beans on Roswell Road back during the Gap Band days.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to unpack right there. A lot to unpack.
Gosh, I'm trying to think of who else was really like, Daryl Hall, Sean Oates. I mean, it was all of like the late 70s, early 80s. It was, why can't I think of...
Rebecca, may we detour for a moment? Daryl Hall and John Oates are one of my favorite. And when I mean favorite, I went to see him at Chastain.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Favorite groups.
Sugar, your kiss is on my lips.
List. Kiss is on my list. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't be on my list because I don't want to piss off your wife because I love her.
Girl, listen. Girl, you name and just name your name 3 Hall & Oates songs.
Baby, come back.
No, that wasn't Hall & Oates. That was another group. Yeah.
Okay, Hall & Oates.
A lot of people confuse them with Hall & Oates though. Baby, come back. I
can't. Oh my gosh.
I was wrong. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't think, but I loved them. They were great. But you know who my end all be all of life is?
Who?
I mean, we've talked about this.
Who?
Adam Ant.
You know what? If we talked about it, I wouldn't even remember that. I didn't know you loved Adam Ant. Okay. If you don't know Adam Ant, if you happen to be raised on MTV, you know who Adam Ant is. So you love Adam Ant. You know you bet Billy Idol is downtown tonight at State Farm.
Yep. Yes. He's no Adam Ant.
What's your favorite Adam Ant song?
There's so many, but probably Stand and Deliver.
Okay. All right.
Probably.
All right.
Yeah. I have even, like, I'm going to take you, like, everywhere I go, there's something Adam Ant that goes with me because he is my consistent in life. So one thing I've always been able to count on is Adam Ant. So even here in my studio, on my refrigerator here in my studio, I don't know if you can see it. I have an Adam Ant magnet.
How you got the nerve to have an Adam Ant magnet up in your studio? So you love Adam Ant
everywhere. I still have a poster of him in my house.
So
like framed poster of him in my house.
Did you go see him back in high school?
I've seen him a gazillion times.
Did you go backstage?
I've never gotten to go backstage, although when I was pregnant, I saw him at it used to be called the Roxy, but now it's the Buckhead Theater.
Yeah.
Like in Buckhead. And I sent flowers backstage with a card that said, "You are my Elvis."
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
dang.
he got it.
I've never
and
seen
his road manager told me, he said, "Well, let me tell you where he's staying." And he was staying off 10th Street. And I went, and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And he finally showed up, and I did get to meet him. And all I remember was that he had on black and white Adidas. And but I got to meet him then. And then I got to meet him one other time when he was playing the Hard Rock in Orlando. And I just feel like we were meant to be together.
Okay, so you're really connected to Adam Ant. Let me ask you this though, Rebecca, because we came up through during the same period, MTV. I'm going to name a group, and I'm going to ask you to I'm going to name a song. I want you to name the group. Come just to see where we are. Come on, Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. I can see the video in my head of them dancing down the street of the
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Duran Duran.
Everybody wants to rule the world. Tears
No.
for Fears.
Tears for Fears. Yep.
Okay, True, as in ba 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 ba. I know this.
This much is
is
true.
true.
Bum, bum, bum. See, I always know the songs, but I don't always know this. Here's the thing. And Ron, my boyfriend, always says, he's like, you know the words to every song.
But don't know
Like,
the name of the song.
pick a song, I will sing it start to finish. I may not know who sang it, but to me, the words are the story. The melody is just what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for most people, they get hooked to the melody first,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even know. They could be singing, I want to sleep with my uncle,
Yes.
because the melody is cool, but they don't know what they're singing. For me, the story is they have to go together in order for them to be really cool. But I know the words to everything, but I may not always know the artist. And no, I do not want to sleep with my uncle, and I don't even think any of them are alive, and I'm not a necrophiliac, so I definitely don't want to sleep with any of my uncles.
Did you like Prince?
Can't even with that. The most amazing musician,
Name
performer, musician, every single instrument.
name your top 3 Prince songs.
I Would Die for You,
Mm.
Purple Rain,
Mm-hmm.
Nikki.
Darling Nikki, yes sir, yes ma'am. Prince was Prince.
He was unbelievable. And I saw him once live, and it was after he'd become the artist formerly known as Prince. So he
Mhm.
didn't sing any of his music. It was all jazz, but it was still like the most amazing concert. It was at the Tabernacle,
Mm-hmm.
and it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, Rebecca, listen. How do people get in touch with you? I think now's worth bearing. We talked about how, you make wigs not just for medical conditions, but for general use and for fashion. I've seen your wig on one of your wigs on the one and only Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
That was such a fun shoot.
Yeah, I ran that a couple of times. So y'all know, if you want one of those top-notch wigs that have much more than you can get at the beauty supply, holla at my girl, Rebecca Walden Wig Studio.
Please.
Rebecca, how people get in touch
Well,
with
that's
you?
so much fun.
Tell us how they get in touch with you.
You can just go to my website, Rebecca Walden Wig Studio.com, which I know you'll have posted. And you can reach out to me. It has my phone number, it has my email. That's really the best way. You can private message me through social media. I check everything all the time. And I talk to every new client personally before they come in to pre-qualify to make sure that I know I can meet their expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody coming into my studio and feeling like they wasted their time. So, we have to be a good fit to work together. In order for me to schedule an appointment with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I call every single person that reaches out to me personally and have a conversation with them, because, my gosh, I'm the most codependent person on the planet. The last thing I want to do is disappoint anyone. And if I'm not the best solution, I know so many people I can refer people to, but it's rare because I'm a pretty great solution.
You have seen Rebecca is one of Atlanta's most respected business women. You've seen her work in magazines. You've seen it on social media. But most importantly, she's doing work that's changing women's lives. Rebecca, what's your favorite drink?
Don't even.
What's your favorite drink, Rebecca?
Million Lite.
Miller Lite, not Miller Lite. What is it, Rebecca?
Milliere Liche.
Rebecca Walden, y'all. Rebecca, you have a good one, girl. Thank you for coming on.
So much love to you, sweet friend. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye. Sparkle plenty.
Star.